Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to answer a question that every backend developer faces. How can our program safely use data that arrives from outside? A browser, a mobile app, or another service can send almost anything. TypeScript cannot inspect the data before it arrives. So we learn narrowing, the process of checking a broad value, step by step, until TypeScript, and we both know what it is. We'll first understand the idea on its own. Then we'll use it to protect task data in our course project. Here is where we're heading. Our program receives one unknown quest, checks its structure, cleans the title, and prints a valid task. Then we deliberately pass invalid data. Instead of trusting it or crashing somewhere later, the validator rejects it with a useful message. The important part isn't only the final output, it's the reasoning that makes every property safe to use. By the end, you'll be able to read each check and explain exactly what TypeScript has learned from it. Let's make our goals clear. First, you'll understand what narrowing means and why control flow matters. Second, you'll see why unknown is safer than any at a system boundary. Third, you'll use checks such as typeop, a null comparison, array.isArray, and instance of. Finally, you'll write custom type guards and combine them into a task input validator. We'll also discuss where these checks stop helping, because TypeScript types alone do not magically validate network data at runtime. Imagine the security desk at an office building. A person arriving at the door is not immediately treated as an employee. The guard checks an identity card, compares details, and only then grants the appropriate access. Narrowing works in a similar way. A value begins with a broad type. Each runtime check provides evidence, and inside the matching branch, TypeScript gives us safer access. The analogy ends there. TypeScript is improving a person's identity. It is following our program's control flow and updating its understanding of a value. Here is the precise definition. Narrowing is TypeScript's control flow analysis, reducing a value from a wider type to a more specific type after a runtime test. A wide type represents several possible values. The test runs in JavaScript and produces true or false. Within the branch where that test is true, TypeScript removes impossible alternatives. Narrowing does not change the value itself, and it does not convert a string into a number. It changes what operations are considered safe in a particular part of the program. Let's isolate the idea before touching our project. Value can be a string or a number. Before the if statement, calling either string only or number only methods would be unsafe. The typeof check runs at runtime. In the true branch, TypeScript narrows value to string, so to uppercase is available in Portnet. If that branch returns, the only remaining possibility afterward is number, so to fixed is safe. This is control flow analysis. TypeScript follows both the condition and the early return. Three ideas are easy to mix up. A narrowing check learns what a value already is. Conversion creates a different representation, such as number of a text value. Validation asks whether the value satisfies rules or application cares about, such as a title having at least 3 characters. Our final parser will use narrowing and validation together. If an API sends the string 5, a typeof check can prove that it is a string, but it does not turn that string into number 5. Any and unknown can both hold any runtime value, but they give the programmer very different permissions. Any switches off useful checking. This risky property access compiles, even if the response is null or has no title. Unknown keeps the uncertainty visible. We can store the value, pass it around, or compare it, but TypeScript blocks property access until we provide evidence. Use unknown at untrusted boundaries when the real shape has not yet been verified. Use any only when you intentionally accept losing type safety, which should be rare. To inspect properties, we first need an object. Type of value equals object seems like the obvious check, and it is an important start. But JavaScript has historical details that make this check incomplete. Arrays report object, and surprisingly, null also reports object. A validator that stops here could still crash when it tries to read a property from null. and it might accidentally accept an array as a task. This is why good narrowing requires us to understand the runtime test, not simply memorize its syntax. Here is the classic null trap. The typo condition is true for null, so TypeScript correctly refuses to pretend that value is a usable object. The compiler message says value is possibly null. We must explicitly rule null out. This is a great example of the compiler protecting us from a JavaScript edge case. Whenever you narrow unknown input to an object, think through three questions. Could it be null? Could it be an array? And do the properties themselves have safe types? Now we create a reusable guard. The return annotation value is record string unknown is called a type predicate. It tells TypeScript what a true result means. Record string unknown describes a non-specific object with string keys and values that still need checking. Our runtime expression requires an object, rejects null, and rejects arrays. The guard does not claim that a task exists yet. It gives us only the next safe level of knowledge. This value is an ordinary object whose properties we may inspect as unknown values. A custom guard has two audiences. JavaScript receives an ordinary function that returns a boolean. TypeScript reads the type predicate and uses it for narrowing. That predicate is a promise written by us, not an automatic proof. If the function returns true for the wrong values, TypeScript will trust a lie and unsafe code can follow. Keep guard small, testable, and directly connected to their predicate. Avoid writing a guard that merely casts a value or always returns true. The runtime checks must genuinely support the type being claimed. Our priority has three exact allowed values. Equality checks are enough to establish this small union. If one comparison succeeds, the value really is low, medium, or high. Notice the boundary between TypeScript and runtime again. The task priority type disappears when JavaScript runs, so we cannot ask whether a value is instance of task priority. Type aliases and interfaces are compiled and descriptions. To validate external data, we write runtime checks or use a runtime validation library, which we'll need later in the course. Array.is array proves that value is an array, but our task needs more than that. Every element must also be a string. The every method returns true only when the callback succeeds for each item. Together, these checks support the predicate string array. This includes an empty array because there is no invalid element in it. Whether empty tag should be allowed is a business rule decision. Narrowing establishes the element type MPC. Separate validation rules can require a minimum length if the product needs one. Now we connect the concept to our project. Parse task input accepts unknown because the network boundary cannot guarantee the caller's data. It promises either to return a valid task draft or to throw a clear error. After the negative guard and throw, control flow knows that input must be a record on every remaining line. We can destructure its properties, but each property is still unknown. This is exactly right. Proving that the container is an object does not prove the contents of that container. The title check combines type narrowing with the product rule. JavaScript's OR operator evaluates from left to right and stops when it already knows the answer. If title is not a string, the second condition does not run, so trim is never called unsafely. If it is a string, TypeScript allows trim and we check the clean length. A one-letter title is still a string, but it is not valid for our application. This shows the difference between a type requirement and a business validation rule. The next checks reuse are focused guards. After the first guard succeeds, priority is narrowed to task priority. After the second succeeds, tags is narrowed to string array. Early errors keep the successful path flat and readable. We could put every condition into one enormous if statement, but then the learner and the API client would receive a vague result. Small checks make the evidence visible and give each invalid field a useful explanation. Only after every check passes do we construct the task draft. The title is now a string, priority is one of the allowed literals, and tags is a string array. We also return a fresh object containing only fields our application understands. This prevents unrelated incoming properties from leaking into trusted code. From this point forward, services can accept task draft instead of unknown and work with normal type safety. Keep the uncertain boundary narrow, validate once, then pass trusted values deeper into the application. Let's test a realistic bad request. The title is too short, urgent is not an allowed priority, and tags is one string instead of an array. Our parser reports the first failing rule. The title must contain at least 3 characters. In a later validation lesson, we'll learn how a library can collect structured errors for several fields at once. For today, the key point is that none of this data becomes a task draft. The unsafe request is stopped exactly where it enters our trusted application. Unknown is also useful in a catch block. JavaScript allows code to throw many kinds of values, not only error objects. Before reading message, we use instance of error. Unlike an interface, error is a real JavaScript class available at runtime, so instance of can examine the prototype chain. Inside the branch, error is narrowed and message is safe. Use typo for primitive categories, array dot is array for arrays, equality for exact values, an instance of when a runtime class relationship is meaningful. Now we compile and execute the real file. The valid request becomes a clean task draft with a trim title, high priority, and 2 tags. The invalid request is rejected. Our verification script checks those exact lines so the screen isn't showing invented output. The compiler has also confirmed that no property is used before its type is narrowed. This is the pattern we'll reuse when request data first enters our Express application. Uncertain outside data comes in, runtime evidence is gathered, and trusted application data comes out. Let's mark the boundaries clearly. TypeScript types help us while compiling, but interfaces and type aliases are erased from the running JavaScript. Guards are real runtime functions, but handwriting a large guard for every nested object can become repetitive. Runtime schema libraries make complex validation more scalable and can generate better error details. We'll use Zord later for request validation. Custom guards remain valuable for small focus checks, library-free code, and domain rules that deserve clear names. Choose the tool based on complexity, not fashion. You can now define narrowing precisely. Runtime evidence lets TypeScript reuse a wider type along a control flow path. You compared unknown with any, used built-in checks, avoided the null and array traps, created honest type predicates, and built a parser that returns only verified task data. For practice, change the tag rule so it requires at least one non-empty string. Don't only make it compile, explain which check narrows the type and which check enforces the business rule. In the next lecture, we'll give several valid object shapes a safe common home using unions and discriminated unions.